The winging did not come from direct sight. It entered by words overheard, a lost in restitution, a body restored to the integrity the attack had blurred. The fact remained beneath what I had seen. It also lives up the evolves. Confluentia had supplied a range. The organic alone had undergone the change, with regularity sufficient to be of use. The reported restoration followed another logic. The wounded body had not merely lived through it. It had been returned to a form the attack refused. Then the ground replied. White flowers had breached ash around the stones, near enough to enter the fire, far enough from apparent cause to leave conclusion unjust. Fear was insufficient. Danger was insufficient. An effect could occur without active threat. Vermurrt. I resumed examination before the elven woman. Her place near him was no longer accessory. She intervened upon terms before they could become conclusions. The subject has not yet presented a stable principle. She looked at me without raising her voice.
His name is Kale. If your definition cannot support my son's name, then your definition is too weak.
The phrase added no direct measure. It nevertheless altered the quality of observation. The term I used clarified the function and degraded the object observed. A word can alter the report before analysis. I had classified him to make the phenomenon usable. She named him to prevent reduction. It was not opposition to the file. It was a limit imposed on its method. A being incorrectly designated becomes simpler within the report, and therefore less reliable as an object of observation. I retain the objection, not as concession. House and wind bear corrector. A defined danger can receive response when source, vector, and intention are established. The body knows how to limit rupture. Legible violence authorize correction. Recognized form permits adaptation. Effect degrades that operation. It slows the reading, loads the signs, and introduces noise into what must remain usable. Degraded reading diminishes response. Diminished response exposes the structure. The elven woman had applied no force. No threat bore upon me. Only an exact phrase placed at the point where my term became insufficient. The frame moved. Ramen Vershibung Vermurrt. What triggers the clear manifestation in the subject? She kept silence for a moment. Her brows drew together barely. She waited. I therefore reformulated. Was Kale. Only then did she speak.
If you have not deduced it, then you have observed my son very badly. You have watched the effects. Not Kale.
Then she turned her head toward the horizon. Her expression changed. The internal response was immediate, more vivid than necessary. I contained it before it altered the reading. The trigger was perhaps not absent, it was perhaps excluded by method before examination. An unstable datum does not become useless for that reason. What cannot be properly measured can still produce effect. The elven woman's assertion remained improper to the report. It supplied neither formula, nor threshold, nor repeatable condition. I could not use it as proof. I could not discard it either. She had perhaps seen what my frame removed, not because her method was superior, because she observed the subject from a point I did not have. Later, the place was empty. The fire had lowered, the voices had withdrawn, and the flowers remained in the ash. I crouched beside them. The growth drew no circle. It followed no ritual line. It indicated neither residual burn nor constraint imposed upon matter. The manifestation art imposed a form. It had permitted return. Orion would have classified it as increase of risk, partially with reason. A being able to withdraw life and reopen its passage enters no less dangerous category. But danger does not supply the trigger. Range does not give the call. The result does not deliver the cause. She found me near the flowers I had not called her. Her presence nevertheless modified the scene.
We cross paths often today.
I did not move my gaze.
Are you admiring them? Or are you still analyzing?
In this context, a flower is not an ornament. It is an event. She looked at the ash around the stems.
Then look carefully. They also respond to something.
The formulation made environment relevant if a manifestation responded. It also depended on conditions placed around the subject. I raised my eyes to her. You knew the possible reach of what he carries. You nevertheless led Kale into a full, dense city impossible to evacuate quickly. The conditions made a black manifestation statistically admissible. What benefit justified that exposure? She did not answer at once.
I did not expose him to obtain a benefit. I raised him in the world because he had to learn how to answer it. Keeping him away from everything would not have removed the danger. It would have left him alone with it.
The word benefit had not been retained. The question had not been avoided, it had been corrected. The frame remained necessary. Its necessity did not make it complete. I could maintain observation, revise the terms, widen the factors, correct known thresholds. I still could not produce the trigger. The flowers confirmed the effect, they did not deliver its origin. The elven woman had supplied direction without supplying formula. She had not explained, she had corrected.
It would have left him alone with it.
The phrase remained active after the exchange had ended. An internal response occurred, brief, unsolicited. The phenomenon did not improve analysis, it interrupted it. I did not retain the occurrence. The report remained usable. Defectus extra campum mansit.